Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the GameCast NewsCast. I am Snowy, otherwise known as Count Fracula. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Max.
Hey, thanks for the welcome, bud.
I mean, it's kind of how the intro to the show works.
Yeah, well, you know, that doesn't mean I can't thank you for it.
Touché.
Counter that one, bitch.
Oh, God. Yeah. Well, that's probably about the happiest we're going to get in this show because, oh my God, it's so depressing.
Yep. In like 2 days.
Yeah,
the last 2 days.
Yeah. Fuck me. We're recording this on Friday, and oh boy! oh boy! Yeah, gut punch of a couple of days this is. So, you've had your warning.
Let's get right into it.
Yeah, we'll try and keep it light, but we promise nothing.
Yeah.
So, Max! What have you been playing this week?
I've pretty much only been playing one game, this game called Moonlighter, which is actually a game I got to check out last year at E3, and they are finally coming out with it right before this year's E3 on the 29th, I believe, is when it comes out. And, excuse me, it's a really neat little action RPG with like some roguelike elements in it, where basically you play as a shopkeeper named Will, and you go into dungeons, and you fight enemies, and you get items from them. You know, like a typical action RPG roguelike. But the difference in Moonlighter is that after you collect all those items, you run a shop, and you get to price those items and actually sell them to patrons and stuff like that, and try and rebuild the town that you live in. So it's kind of like a lot of like Stardew Valley elements are incorporated into this game. It reminds me a lot of that in a lot of ways. So it's just actually a really, really interesting, like, kind of, like, not even mini or side game, just other half of the game that you play. Like, it's kind of addicting to figure out which prices people like and which prices are just way too high. You have to fend off robbers from your store, and, you know, you get special items. There are times where items are, like, priced higher because of demand. People will ask you for specific items that you have to get in a specific amount of days and everything like that. So it's really interesting. Just a lot to balance, a lot to do at all times. It's actually pretty interesting and pretty fun. I highly recommend checking it out. This game is going to get very high score from me and a few of the other people I've been talking to who are playing it right now as well. I'm really excited for it. My one thing is, I've seen a lot of discussion in the comments about this game, about people thinking this is going to be like Binding of Isaac, where you're going to get hundreds and hundreds of hours out of it. And I don't really think that's the case at all. This is actually a pretty linear game. You're not going to get... It's not a full roguelite. Like, it has elements of it, but it's not just an endless game that you can keep playing over and over again. So don't expect that, because I feel like that's going to hurt the game a bit, and I really hope it doesn't, but it actually may. So be careful with your expectations, because that's not what this game is supposed to be. But it's great. Oh, and I beat Resident Evil 7 in like 2 days. I had a friend come over, and we were actually going to play The Order, because he was visiting from Ohio, and The Order's like 4 hours. What?
By The Order, do you mean The Order 1886?
I do. You know what? My one of the guys over at Tech Raptor made a video defending it, and it actually made me really want to play it. And that's why, like, we wanted to like play it and like critique it and everything, and kind of get our own impressions of it. But instead, we ended up starting Resident Evil 7, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I played it through all of one Sunday while I'm working, doing like hour on, hour off. That was a fucking awesome game. As I'm sure you all have heard. No, Resident Evil 7 is very, very interesting. I do think it's a bit overhyped in some ways. Like, I didn't find it super scary. A lot of the game can be kind of like played. Wow, imagine that. But a lot of the mechanics can be kind of like gamed against. Like, they're kind of finicky and pretty easy to like manipulate. I don't really want to spoil anything or ruin it, but it's definitely not very as challenging or scary as I thought it would be, but it's still overall just a fantastic game, and I highly recommend it.
fair enough. Going back to Moonlighter, though, I'm looking at it. It looks really interesting, actually.
Oh, it's wonderful. It actually, I wasn't with them at the time, but it actually won Best of Tech Raptor at E3 last year.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that was really cool. I think that's actually on their Steam page. But no, it's really neat. Snowy, I think of you every time I load it up. Actually, I was gonna tell you about it next time we talked. I figured you would really enjoy this game.
This is there's a game called Recettear.
Okay.
Recettear, however you want to pronounce it. Recettear. It's an item shop's tale, and you're running an item shop, and it's got elements of that, and then it's got elements of the Binding of Isaac in it, by the looks of it.
Ooh.
Which just looks. I mean, this game, Moonlighter, not the other one. But yeah, this looks super up my alley. So I have wishlisted that game, and I should be checking that out soon.
I will say.
What have I been playing?
Oh,
go for
fine.
it.
Fine. No. I was just gonna say I do think that the shopkeeping mechanics. Or I wish they could have been. They were a little bit deeper. But it seems like there were some limitations with this game in terms of budget and time and everything like that, and they still were able to get a lot out of it, which is really cool.
Good. What have I been playing then? I did a really nice little creative corner on City Skylines because their new expansion came out.
Oh yeah, and it's hella cheap right now too, the game in general.
Yeah, it's like £4, but yeah. This new expansion is called Park Life. This makes me think of the Blur song, literally every time.
I forgot about that band.
They're a good band. So I did a creative corner on that, and I made a park, because that's like the main feature of this expansion is you can make your own custom parks in your town. And it'll be
actually pretty cool.
It's like making like a mini town, basically.
Yeah.
And you place buildings like cafes and a little sort of square and like loads. There's so many different elements to it. Like it's really in depth as an expansion. It's quite nice, but it's like in depth on a tiny thing, which is like just quite nice to just see that.
You mean like what the Sims expansions used to do? Keyword used to do.
Yeah, definitely. Sims 3 was just great. Did you just fall off your chair or something?
No, I need my desk.
Well, that was a stupid thing to do, and I'm keeping it in the show. Other than that, I have been playing... I found a game called Terra Tech, which I was talking about a game the other day called Trail Makers.
Okay, yeah.
Last week. It's similar to that, but it's more... Like there's an actual sort of story to it, and it's less focused on making it's like a different type of vehicle making almost. I don't know, it's the same but different, and it's got a slightly different art style.
Okay.
There's much more of an emphasis of building on the fly. Like you can destroy your opponents, and the parts that you don't destroy you can just salvage and attach to yourself on the fly, literally as you're playing. You don't even have to go into a special build mode or anything.
Oh, nice.
So it's quite interesting. I only played like half an hour of it, so I'm waiting to play a bit more of that at some point. I'm still playing Stardew Valley. I've completed another one of the big bundles, like the whole bundle things in the town hall.
Oh, nice. God, those are a bitch.
Yeah, I've got the second one of those. I'm very nearly at a couple more, so I'm hopefully going to get those done.
How far are you? Like, how many seasons in? Summer year 2. Oh shit! You're almost at the end of the soft cap.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Yeah, he's like, fuck. I still got so much to do.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm now at 46 hours, so I've been playing it when I get home from work. Basically, that's how I've been working that.
Relaxing.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I've also
with shitty people.
Yeah, I've bought but not played Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon.
Oh, I've heard of that franchise. I think I have one of those.
No, you don't, because it hasn't come out yet. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is it's a thing. It was a thing that was kickstarted, but it's being made by the original developer of Castlevania.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Yes,
is that. And then one of their stretch goals was an 8-bit themed spin-off if they got so much money. And this is that. It's called Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. And it's the 8-bit spin-off of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It looks really cool as well. It's got like character switching and it's proper old 8-bit style, Castlevania style stuff.
Kind of reminds me of that like Final Fantasy 15 Pocket thing. Or that like 8-bit game that they did.
Yeah. The only problem I'm having with it, I was trying to play it on an Xbox controller, and they seem to be having issues with controllers stuff at the moment.
Sad.
What?
It's sad. I said sad.
Oh, okay. Why are you doing that? Are you turning into Donald Trump?
No, it's just like a thing my friend and I have been doing lately. And I've just
Okay.
kind of adapted it. It is
It's a
like
bit
it is
weird.
making fun of that, but yes.
Okay, it's a bit weird. But yeah, it's been having some slight issues with the controllers. Like the A button doesn't want to register an input at all for some reason.
Wow.
Go figure. So if I can't get that to work on the next couple of days, I'll just do it with keyboard instead. So yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. And
Does the keyboard work well?
I don't know. Probably.
Oh.
So that's what I've been playing this week. We'll get the most depressing story out of the way with then. Total Biscuit, John Bain, Cynical Brit, however you want to refer to him, has passed away at the age of 33, 10 years older than me.
Jesus.
That's no age to die.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
Before we say anything else, be civil in the comments, in yourselves. Be civil.
Yeah.
Just, because he was a polarizing figure. I understand that to a point. He was very outspoken in his opinions, and some people may not agree with them. However, he's just died. Be civil.
Yep.
Some people
Shouldn't even
don't
have
seem
to be
get
said.
that. You'd think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't agree with basically anything Donald Trump says. I'm not going to go around when he dies, like, the first thing I'm going to be like, ha 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 ha! No. It's not how this works.
No.
Be better than the person you think is the bad person.
Yeah.
There you go.
Pretty much.
That's something to live by.
There you go, yeah. A good snowy quote for the show.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so he died of cancer, which, he's been fighting for, a couple
4-year
years
battle.
now? Jesus.
4 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So this definitely wasn't out of nowhere, but...
No, it was... He had bowel cancer for 2 years that went into remission, and then it came back in his spine and liver.
Right. But he fought that shit.
Oh, yeah.
That question for a long time. And it was...
They didn't expect him to live for longer than about a year, and he managed 4, so well fucking done.
Yeah. And he, even it was like a couple days ago, he was tweeting about, like, how he's starting, like, physically he's not doing well, but, like, mentally he's starting to feel better, and, like, he'll be able to be on the show next week or something like that. And he tweeted that, and, like, yeah, and we all had reason to believe that, like, he was doing a bit better, and, like, he'll just be on the show again, and no reason to expect him to just, like, die very, like, reasonably soon, and then just boom.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No,
absolutely crazy.
Yeah, he just had a sort of operation because he was in a lot of pain for fluid build-up.
Mm-hmm.
So he was having a drain installed in his abdomen. So that's what he was in surgery for, and then it just went wrong.
Yep.
Well, something happened, and he's now no longer with us. So I put a piece on the channel the other day. As by the time this goes out, it'll be the other day. As I'm recording, it's about half an hour ago. I said my piece about him. I said I'm really going to miss him, and you're welcome to go and look that up. I do also have a little tribute here from Lemmy Smash in the Let's Play team. He said, I didn't agree with everything Total Biscuit had to say, but if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have made my way to the PC Master Race. His WTF Is series introduced me to countless games. He always fought for the consumer, no matter who he had to take on. That is Lemmy Smash's little tribute there to Total Biscuit. Sully was going to send me something, but as of the time of recording, he hasn't. So that might show up at some point. But yeah, have you got anything you want to say as a little obituary?
To be honest, I haven't seen a lot of his content, but I've always heard about him. I've always obviously respected the man for everything he does. I just honestly want to say, I think people just need to stop being really shitty about this. Like, I've seen some shit on Twitter, like people just despising him for like shitting on their game and everything like that. And at the end of the day, like, he's voicing his opinion on games, man. Like, you don't need to hate someone for that. Like, especially even if it is a game that you worked a long time on, like, it's still, at the end of the day, it's his opinion, and there's no reason to hate someone over that. From everything I've heard on all accounts, he was always a very respectful, very genuine guy, and he never meant any harm by anything he did or anything like that, from what I've heard. So it's like, I don't know, it's just, be respectful about this kind of stuff. Like, this is pretty ridiculous that this sort of stuff has to even be said, but yeah.
Yeah. Again, be civil.
Yeah.
You know, above all else, if you think someone's being shitty, be the better person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the moment you stoop to whatever level you think they're on, then you know, you become that person, if not worse. So, you know, just be nice. You might not have agreed with everything he said. I didn't agree with his opinion on loot boxes because he was.
Yeah, he's for them, right?
He was of the opinion that if they're just cosmetic, then there's no issue at all. I don't entirely agree with that.
Wow, you should hate him.
Yeah, exactly. No, as we've discussed many times, in my opinion of loot boxes, I don't think loot boxes have any places in full price games. But, oh my goodness, look at that. Two humans can hold different opinions and still not despise one another. Who'd have fucking thought it?
Yep. Pretty much. At the end of the day, he was himself. He was always very himself, and he as a person was not a bad person, and that's worth remembering, I think, more than anything else.
Definitely. I think I think he's had quite an influence on me as a person, as someone who likes video games, and as a content creator. So I think he's had an influence on so many people, and you know, just thank you for being you and doing your amazing thing. And yeah, it sucks that you got taken away from us at 33, which is just no age for it. So
and best wishes to his wife and family, of course.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I know exactly what it's like to be in that position as a family member. It's not fun, and you know, all the best to anyone in that situation, because it is terrible. Yeah, it really is. So yeah,
I know his wife Jenna has been like tweeting about a lot of this throughout, because she worked, I'm pretty sure she managed everything he did, right? Like, she was a manager of his company or something like that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so I know, of course, that was super hard on her and everything. And I think people were being kind of shitty to her too, like in like tweets and stuff, tweet replies, which is just like the worst thing.
I know. A lot of the people who are shitting on him bring up one specific tweet. And he said to this person, "Oh, fuck off, get cancer and die." The problem is that's presented without any context of what the other guy said, and it also omits the tweet he posted immediately after that, which says, "Did I actually just tweet that? Oh my god, I'm so sorry." Of course,
there you go.
If you send that, if you post that tweet as well, kind of ruins your argument, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Just a bit.
Yeah. Whatever. You know. Yeah, anyway, I think that's probably about all there is to say on this topic. And
Yeah.
I kind of want to move on anyway, because it's really depressing.
Yep.
You know, this isn't the traditional, oh my god, the games industry is terrible. This is just a genuine, I am in a slight stage of mourning because he was a big influence, and that's just terrible. So, yeah. Rest in peace, Total Biscuit.
I love Dark Souls. I hate being a part of their fan base, though.
And that's the start of the story. Dark Souls Remastered has launched a day early on Steam. Unfortunately, it has mixed reviews, which kind of makes me think that they fucked up the PC port again.
They actually kind of, with Dark Souls 3 and even 2, they kind of far from nailed, but they learned to make like a decent PC port. The one thing that they still don't have down, however, is like mouse and keyboard controls, from what I know.
Why is that difficult?
I don't know. Like they just,
mouse and keyboard
they're
in third
terrible.
person is simple.
It's terrible. Like it's terrible how it plays. So from what I know, I was kind of skimming through the reviews yesterday, and it seems to me like people are just complaining about things that aren't really part of the game. Like some are bugs and crashes, which sucks. That always sucks. But some people were like complaining about the fact that they changed the bonfire texture, which apparently it just looks generic now. And it's like,
it's a fire.
I mean, the bonfires are important in the game. They're like part of the story. They're the most important thing in the game.
But what's specifically the bonfire texture? Is it the bit like the actual?
Apparently, I don't know. I saw more than a few people complaining about it, and apparently it's I was really tired last night, so I didn't really process any of it. I was just kind of skimming through. But I just saw someone complaining about that, and they had like the negative review, and that was like all they said, and I was like, all right, come on. And other people are saying like there's hackers and cheaters and everything, which sucks, but also like that's always been in Dark Souls, I feel like, on PC, and I don't know if there's much that they can do about that. So that kind of sucks to shit on the game for that. And it also just seems like people were expecting a lot more than what we got. I mean, it's a remaster. It's not like they were, I don't know, like I don't know what people expected out of this. It's just a remaster. Like It's not like a full-blown remake with different controls and everything.
Game, apparently.
Yeah, there is. Which sucks, but like that's, I don't know, I guess that's always been the case with Dark Souls. I've always just come to expect those sort of things.
I mean, that doesn't make it better.
It doesn't, but like what can they do?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I'm not surprised that this this has happened, to be honest, because it's Dark Souls.
I hate that fan base.
The main thing I'm seeing is that this has put in what mods have already done it years ago.
Yeah, there's this dude Durante who, like, I think that's his name. He made like a DS fix or something. That was the only way the first game was playable for me. I used his mod and everything.
Because that put it up to 60 FPS, gave it better lighting and whatever,
and actually gave it a decent resolution.
Yeah, and you could even control it with. You could even use a Steam controller with it if you wanted to.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Have you used a Steam controller?
No, I've heard lots of back and forth.
Weird.
Yeah, I've heard so many different things.
I can't get on with it. I know one of my friends, she really likes her Steam controller. She got used to it really quickly, but I just can't click with it at all.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be the same way. I do want to try one. I almost bought one on like that sale. They had some like really good sale.
I bought one when they were really cheap. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend anyone buy them. Like the build quality is nice and everything, but it does nothing for me.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just don't really feel like learning a whole new controller, to be honest with you. I'm perfectly content with both of mine. And I mean, from what I know, it's supposed to be more for like, not casual gamers, but just people who like only PC game, who don't have like a 360
supposed to be weird
controller.
people.
Or that. But yeah. So I don't know. I've heard enough of both sides where I just really need to try it myself.
Yeah.
To be fair, but no, I've not held one before. And the fact that they're not like kind of mainstream right now makes me think that they won't ever be. But yeah.
Yeah, but I from what I'm reading on the sort of negative reviews, it's just that they've not done enough to.
Yeah, but like it's a remaster. I don't know what those people were expecting. And this is more
apparently.
Apparently, to be honest, for the remaster I think is more for consoles, because on consoles like Blighttown was like pretty much like broken.
Garbage, yeah.
Yeah, and apparently it's fine now. And like so, I do think this remaster was more for consoles, because honestly, why do you need a remaster of Dark Souls, especially when you have the mod? Like the first game plays fine to this day if you have the mod. Like I played the first 2 games on PC exclusively. And only got the third one on console because my PC couldn't handle the third one at the time when it came out.
Yeah. Well, on the plus side, though,
eh.
if you do own the first game and you feel like wasting some more money, you can get 50% off Dark Souls Remastered on Steam.
Yay.
If it's in your Steam library.
Well, actually, to be fair, there's like 6 players online and stuff now. So they did change some things. I forget about that. But still.
Yeah. Still. I feel like not enough has been changed. I don't see why it needed a remaster, like you said, because it's not that old a game. The only thing they needed to do was patch it.
Yep, exactly.
Patch it like, so that Blighttown works on console. Release a port of it on PS4 and Xbox One and Switch for some reason.
Yeah, that's my thing. They could have just done this for consoles or something. There was no need for a PC version of this at all.
Got a double dip for that $1.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I mean, they also said Dark Souls 3 wouldn't have any DLC, and it has DLC, so... apparently it's good DLC.
Has it had some DLC? Yeah, it has, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Apparently it's really good, but like they also said it wouldn't have any, so I don't really know.
Apparently we know that From Software are making a new game now.
Bloodborne 2.
No, they've confirmed. I think they've said that it's not Bloodborne 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have to. It's just that trailer looked so much like it. Oh my god! And they even referenced "Prepare to Die." The fucking shitheads. No. But, yeah.
Would you like to know?
Yes.
Between Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3, a game that From Software developed and released on the Nintendo 3DS.
Oh shit, what?
Monster Hunter Diary Poker Poker Airyu Village. A spin-off installment of the Monster Hunter series developed by From Software, published by Capcom. Oh, sorry, this was developed for the PSP in 2010 and ported to the 3DS in 2015.
So wait, they developed it in 2010 as well? That was them?
Yeah.
And then it just got ported? Interesting.
It was released in Japan on August 2010 on the PSP. It's the Japanese equivalent. The word that I pronounced incorrectly is the equivalent of feline, a fictional sapient cat species that appear in the Monster Hunter games. The player gives orders to the felines to progress to the end of the quest instead of having direct control over them, so it's like a weird RTS. The game uses a more cartoonish art style as opposed to the realism or emphasis based on style and village management. A few Hello Kitty items are also available in the game. This is developed by From Software.
Interesting. I mean, do you know about their history before Dark Souls?
Vaguely. I know bits and pieces.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time. They developed like Flight Sims or something like that. Like, what was it called?
They did the Armored Core games as well.
That's it. Armored Core. Those like mech games. Sorry, not Flight Sims.
Yeah.
They're like mech sims. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, they've done lots of things, but I just thought that was a weird thing to have released between Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, Bloodborne, Monster Hunter Diary, Poka Poka Are You Village, and Dark Souls 3.
Yep. That's pretty funny. Yeah, especially because that's like all they've done now since they got big from Souls. Or became more of like a mainstream name.
Yeah, I mean, the Armored Core series stopped in 2013, just before Dark Souls 2 released.
Everyone thinks that they're going to make a new one. Like, that series has a cult following.
I can see why. It looks interesting.
It does. It looks like something I would want to try out. I feel like it's past its time, though. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I know very little. It's just based on what I've seen around it. It seems to be the case, which is sad, but what are you going to do?
Still, that's that. Dark Souls got a remaster release, and it's
better on console.
Better and more relevant on console. So there we go.
And it's on the Switch, which I think is the biggest reason for it.
Still don't see why that needed to happen, but oh well.
I don't either, but when I get a Switch, I'll probably buy it. I think that'll be interesting. I haven't played Dark Souls 1 since, like, it was, like, the main game in the series. So I think it'd be cool to revisit it.
Someone's made a hideous 3D style Harvest Moon Stardew Valley game. And
what's it called?
Harvest Life. It looks terrible.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It came out in November last year. I don't know why it's come up on my recommended, but fucking hell, it looks...
Because you've been playing Stardew Valley.
True, but it looks super cheesy and bad, and I just dislike it intensely. Anyway. Yeah. Dark Souls got a remaster. That's a thing that's happened. Let's move on. So do you remember last week, Max, when Valve decided they were going to shit all over visual novels that have a bit of nudity in them?
Yep.
Well, today, I think it was either today or yesterday, a game called Active Shooter was released on Steam. The content of which is based around a school shooting.
Could have guessed that.
Yeah. This is apparently from the maker of White Power Pure Voltage, so this guy is obviously a cunt.
Yeah.
Apparently called Revived Games, and the publisher's called Acid.
Okay.
Revived Games credits include White Power Pure Voltage and Dab, Dance and Twerk.
Oh, God.
Wow.
That's a 2018 word phrase. Turn a title. English.
Oh my god, it gets worse.
Oh, of course.
The publisher plans to add in a survival mode where you play as a civilian and have to escape or perform a heroic action such as fight against the shooter.
My god. That's ridiculous.
I have no problem with violence in video games, but this is tasteless as fuck.
Yeah, this is pretty ridiculous.
When a week ago, there was a shooting in a Texas school.
Oh, there was something earlier today. It wasn't a shooter. I'm pretty sure a teacher stopped a shooter. It was breaking news like an hour ago. Hold on.
Great.
Yeah.
Real good.
Yeah, so timely.
God, I'm glad I don't live in your country.
Yeah. 2 hours ago, Associated Press, student says science teacher at Indiana Middle School tackled gunman, knocked weapon away.
Wow. What the fuck, America?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. This game probably shouldn't be on Steam, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Because the fact
No,
that
I agree with that.
gunning down school children?
I agree. And it was obviously made just to cash in on that. Like, without question.
To cash in on a school shooting. Classy!
Yep. So. Yeah!
God. Oh, I hate this industry sometimes.
Yeah. Me too, mate.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Originally, when this game started its course of development, I had planned on having SWAT-only based gameplay. Then I thought about adding more gameplay to it by adding additional roles of shooter and civilian. While I can see people's anger and why this might be a bad idea for the game, I still feel like this topic should be left alone. As mentioned in Steam's discussion forums, I'm not misreading that, by the way. There are games like Hatred, Postal, Carmageddon, etc., which are even worse compared to active shooter and literally focus on mass shootings and killings of people. What you mean, like your game does?
I don't know what to say to that.
Acid said they have contacted Valve and are waiting for a reply. After receiving such a high amount of critics and hate, I will more than likely remove the shooter's role in this game by the release, unless if it can be kept as it is right now.
So they're contacting Valve to see if they could keep it?
I don't know. I suspect that English is not their first language based on the grammar here. Not an issue, obviously. I also suspect that Acid and Revived Games, while they're apparently developer and publisher respectively, I think they might be the same person.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they work together.
It seems that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not because of the violence, it's because of the context surrounding it that means it's in such bad taste.
Yeah.
Like, even Hatred is a bad game, by all accounts, both in terms of its theme and apparently its gameplay.
Yeah.
But the reason that got off the hook for a lot of people was because the theme was less specific, I think. Am I wrong? I don't know. I've never played Hatred, and I never really want to, but...
Did it get off? I thought people sort of forgot about it.
Yeah, people forgot about it because it was a forgettable shit game.
Yeah. I think it was... I'm pretty sure with Hatred, it was one of those cases where it was like, don't fuel the fire. That's exactly what they want.
Yeah.
So everyone just kind of ignored it.
It currently costs... The full price is £5.19 on Steam, or it's currently on a sale for £1.55.
Fantastic.
Yeah. No. Yeah, just don't bother. It's not my thing at all. But yeah, I think it's specifically the context around the theme that makes this not great, and the timing.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
You know, if we were in a world where school shootings weren't happening on a daily/weekly basis, this might be less incongruous.
I don't think this would have happened if that was the case. I don't think this game would have happened.
That's fair. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, don't. This is why Steam Direct is a mistake.
This is also why I'm low-key considering leaving this fucking industry.
Yeah, this person just literally paid $100, which they can get back at a certain point, and put this game on Steam. That's it. That's all that had to happen. No,
but they had a
QA
publisher,
process.
so the publisher paid it.
Yeah, but like, no oversight has gone into this at all.
Not at all.
That's
or I mean, it has, and that might be. That's probably what's worse. I think that it has, and that's what's worse.
Steam Direct needs to go away, and just, Valve needs to hire some QA people, like they should have done in the first place.
I thought they hired a bunch more.
Did they? Because it doesn't seem like they're doing a good job.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I really don't know what's happening with Valve.
They're not doing anything good, really, are they? Let's be honest.
Nope. Trends. They're cashing in on.
Hey, it's like YouTube.
Oh, God. YouTube changed something the other day too. They made subscription feeds chronological.
They're
subscription
They're betering the sub feed not being chronological, which is just pointless. Fuck off. Fuck you, YouTube. You're being shit. Go away. Valve,
Money.
just hire some QA people or go away. This
Money.
game needs to go away.
Money!
Let's go talk about salty gamers being mad about the women's. Battlefield 5. People don't like the trailer and the cover art because it has a woman on it.
Yeah.
Oh no. A lady
Yeah.
person in the video games.
Yeah.
But it's not realistic. Women didn't fight in World War II. Yes, they did. Go and look it up. What are you basing that assumption on? There are many women who fought in World War II. They didn't fight on the front lines. What about the Night Witches, a Russian battalion of air raid bombers who conducted in the space of 2 years about, I think it was 8,000 bombing raids. Like, it's either 3,000 or 8,000 bombing raids on German stuff. And they were given the nickname the Night Witches because they were so fucking good at what they did. Shut up. You're idiots. You don't know anything. You're just justifying your own fucking bullshit.
Yep. That was a great intro.
Oh, sorry. The regiment flew over 23,000 missions, dropping 3,000 tons of bombs and 26,000 incendiary shells on German targets. In 3 years.
Damn, that's pretty impressive.
Think about that. And this was a regiment of... it was about... They managed to lose, out of the 261 people who served in the regiment, 32 of them died. The rest of them survived that. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Would you also like to know how they managed to do this? Because
Sure.
fuck it. Let's leave Battlefield behind because this is a really interesting story.
Yeah,
they
that makes me
used
sad. The Battlefield shit.
They used World War One. Well, they were basically World War One planes. They were really heavily out of date. Oh, sorry, no, the 1928 design used for training aircraft and crop dusting. So these planes were hideously out of date. The reason they were so successful with them, though, is because, one, these planes were surprisingly maneuverable, and two, their top speed was slower than the stall speed of the Messerschmitt and the Fokker. So, try and think of it like this: if you have to go faster than the thing you're trying to shoot at, you're going to find that thing very difficult to shoot. That's why they got away with so much of this stuff. And also, one of their techniques was to idle their engine. So basically, they turned off their engine nearly, and then glided down to the target and released their bombs. What?
That's awesome.
The fuck is that? Imagine being that fucking ballsy. They are like my favourite people from World War II because that is just amazing to hear about.
That is pretty fantastic.
So yeah, women did fight in World War II, you fucking idiots. Anyway.
Yeah, no, people are, they're making like long ass fucking forum posts about how these games are used to like escape from the struggles from real world and shit like that. I don't need...
Well, you can't escape from the struggles if you have to play as a woman.
That, and you're also like escaping your struggles playing a fucking war game. Like,
I was gonna say,
that's your defense.
Weird ass life do you lead?
Yeah, but I don't know, mate. I don't even try to rationalize this shit anymore. I just kind of take it and just be like, all right.
I'm watching the trailer now. It's very bright. It's very colourful.
Oh yeah, I heard that people are when it's actually bringing up game, like talking about the actual game. I heard people are worried that it's a bit too cartoony.
I don't think it looks cartoony. It's very.
I haven't seen the trailer, so I can't say.
There's a lot going on. I'll give it that. I believe there's also a moment where someone jumps from a Spitfire into something else, like some sort of wildly unrealistic thing.
in all the Battlefield, like everyone does that in every Battlefield game.
Yeah,
like that kind of thing.
I mean, there's actually some gameplay in this trailer. So
I heard it looks tactical as hell now and like slower pace, which is cool.
I'll give it this, if nothing else. There's a lot if this is actual representative gameplay, there's quite a lot going on.
That's cool. Battlefield always was my preferred shooter before Halo, or after Halo.
This is very sort of, oh my god, there's so much going on. You're going to have to really be careful while you're playing this game, otherwise you're going to die a lot.
I got that in Battlefield 1, to be honest. I did, when I played it. I played like probably 50 or 60 hours of that game at release, and that shit was hectic and fun. Like, I really enjoyed it. There was always shit going on, and you had to watch out for it and stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah. Also, there's a woman with one arm, and she's pretty badass, and that's quite cool.
Anyway. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Have you seen that shit? People complaining about that shit?
I know. Calm the fuck down. It's a woman with one arm.
No. They so she, you know how like prosthetics were a thing?
Yeah.
So
are they apparently not, according to these people.
Apparently, I don't remember if it was like on the cover or what, but people are like mad. They're like, I don't want robots and like futuristic soldiers in my World War I or II game. They literally thought that.
That is a fucking period accurate prosthetic. I have seen those things up close.
No, yeah, people are literally complaining if there's like robots and shit.
They literally have a thing that is basically bolted to your arm that's made out of plastic, and then they usually, in this case, have like metal immovable fingers on the end. That's pretty damn accurate for the period, and considering what she's doing, pretty sensible.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Apparently they're robots, and they're not allowed to be in World War II.
No. Also, the thing they're complaining about is that of the women, and there's a picture here of what looks like the 4 main protagonists. Only one of them's a woman. The other one's like a fucking weird...
Looks like Kratos.
Kratos looking motherfucker. There's got
like a weirdly disfigured skinny one.
Yeah. There's the token black, because you have to have those. Bet he's going to die first, because all of the tropes, you know, all these games have to be slightly racist, don't they?
Yeah.
And then we've got the weird sniper guy, who just looks like a bit like young Norman Bates in Bates Motel.
Really? Interesting.
A little bit. I think he does. People might disagree. But yeah, this looks very hectic and...
Looks like a Battlefield game.
It's not something that I'm going to play, because it's not something that interests me particularly to play, but the thing that interests me is the amount of people getting so salty about it. Like,
yeah. It's pretty dumb.
If there are plenty of reasons to get angry about video games, like the practices involved, the business practices, or the fact that the gameplay in them shit. There's so many reasons to get angry about it. The fact that a woman is in it is not...
On the cover.
That's not a reason to be getting angry about a fucking video game for. Like, come on.
Really comical. It's really quite comical. That people are serious about
grow
this.
Up. Yeah.
It's depressing, mate.
Yeah, I don't get people.
Incels.
Yeah, I don't even want to remember that they exist. Because they're just...
Can't escape reality, Snowy.
They're just such awful people.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Anyway. Sorry if you're an incel, but you know, you aren't owed a fucking thing by a woman, so deal with it.
Yeah, I'm not sorry.
No, I'm not sorry. Yes, Battlefield 5, we'll hear a lot more about it at E3. We definitely hear more about it at E3. I'd be very surprised if we didn't.
Well, it's coming out this year, so yeah.
Yeah. So, all we have to go on at the moment is the fact that it's set in World War II and it's got that trailer on it that, by the standards of the sort of a shooter, looks quite good to me. I don't know. You might agree. Yeah. You might disagree. I think it looks all right by the standards of a shooter.
Yeah.
So yeah,
looks like what I want out of Battlefield.
Yeah. And I think that's probably about all we've got to say on the matter, really. Stop being dicks, be civil. And I think that's
the podcast today.
Yeah. That's a pretty good note to end the show on, I think. That brings us to the end of another episode of the GameCast NewsCast, and I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, subscribe, or share our channel, whatever you fancy, or join our Discord, where you can join in some chat with us and members of our community. Thank you again, Max, as always, for joining me.
Of course.
And I'm going to try and get a guest on next week, but I promise nothing, as usual. But otherwise, I hope you all enjoyed watching as much as we enjoy making this show, as depressing as the topics can be sometimes. And we will see you next time for more news-based stuff.
Yay!
Goodbye.
Goodbye.